Hello, everyone. Welcome back to First Listen Media. Today, I am with two members of the band Unsafe, Unsound. What is up, guys?
Yo, it's good.
It's funny you say two members, but we're the only members.
Oh, really? I thought there was more. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah,
No, you're
we
good.
are
You're
the
good.
band.
Yeah, we are the whole band.
Dude, that's awesome. A two-piece. It's rare for me to get those. All right, let's get started. How did this band begin?
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Like, where do we begin? Well, it's actually a short story, right?
I mean, it can be a short story.
We met through TikTok. So actually, I don't know. Some people may know this, but we've never met in person. So we're technically an internet band.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we each had our own TikTok account, and we were just sort of doing our own thing. Either doing he was doing vocal covers and a couple like comedy skits, and I was doing like guitar remixes, pop punk covers, metalcore covers, things like that. And we we showed up in each other's FYPs, and it was kind of funny because we had like this little like middle school crush on each other, but we never really like wanted to kind of like reach out and say, hey, we should collab. And it was
like I admired his work, he admired my work. We wanted to work together, but I was too afraid that he was like too good for me and that he would like shut me down. So I was like, I'm not going to approach him. I don't want to get rejected.
I felt the same way. It was really funny. But the thing that did it was the Justin Bieber cover, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
that was it. He we kind of had talked briefly, like because he had done a cover of something, I think it was Positions by Ariana Grande, and I had hit him up and was like, hey, do you mind if maybe like I'm the vocalist for this? And he was like, oh, well, I'm already working with somebody else on it. And I was like, oh damn, okay. And at first I thought that was his way of letting me down nicely. But he was like, no, but we can still work on something. Like, why don't we do like a Silverstein cover or something? So we were gonna do that. And then he put out like a Justin Bieber cover of Lonely, like a little remix of it. And like it blew up. It just like, it took off, and it was nuts because like immediately I was like, boy, if you don't send me that instrumental, like I wanted to hop on it. Like, I think it was literally what I said.
Exact words you sent in the comment too. Boy, if you
Yeah.
don't send that instrumental. I DM'd you right away. I was like, here we go.
Yes.
Do your shit.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's something I wanted to ask. My like vernacular is terrible, and I'm like super vulgar all the time, and I don't know if we're like supposed to stay clean or not.
Oh, no, you can curse as much as you want. I don't care.
Okay, cool. Because I've been trying to be super careful because I didn't get to ask before we started recording, so I was like,
ask,
it's
You're
totally
good.
fine.
Go wild.
So yeah. Awesome. It's a bad habit. I probably should just be more careful in general. But yeah, so we did the Justin Bieber cover, and like it just took off. And we knew like then and there, like we had something special. But we didn't really do much else. Like we wrote one original like a little while after that, and we just kind of shelved it and it sat there. And we still talk to each other like all the time. And we would, shoot little stuff to collab on back and forth here and there, but like it was never anything really serious. But we knew we wanted to work together. So yeah, everything happened because of TikTok, and then it just kind of kept unfolding from there. We just kept in touch and, started sharing resources and connections and, stuff to help each other succeed. And I think the thing is, like, I don't want to say like friendly competition, because like Ricky was definitely like way further ahead than I was, but there was this like mutual desire to like keep elevating each other and keep like pushing each other, and just just this desire to see both of us succeed. And I think that's what just like kept it going, is like good things were happening for both of us back to back, and it just kept us motivated. And honestly, it's dangerous how much we motivate each other, like actually dangerous.
So like we sometimes we can just knock out a song in a day or two. And we're like, all right, cool. And
it's
the
our work
chemistry-
ethic is stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not dumb. It's good, and it's working out for you guys. So keep at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, just keep at it.
I think it's dumb in the sense that like we don't give ourselves enough time to take a break or to sit back and be like, it's okay if we do this later. It's always just, no, it needs to get done right now. And it's never aggressive towards each other. It's just that you've inspired me and I feel motivated to work right now. And it just goes back and forth like super quick. And there's this like weird fear of like, well, I don't want to let the other person down. I don't want to make them wait too long for this. And neither one of us is going to feel that way. You know, if it takes a day or two, we're going to be cool about it. But it's just like, no, it needs to get done. Like it's a personal
Yeah,
thing.
there's some
And
weird accountability feeling.
yeah.
I got yeah.
But no, I
Yeah.
mean, and we make it work, and it's been pretty awesome.
It's been insane to like just to say like I've never met this dude and yet he's one of my closest friends. Like I trust him with anything. We're literally running like a business and an art project together. And it's just like, you know, it's really crazy to have that sort of connection with somebody, especially in this day and age where like it's hard to trust people. You know, you don't know like what someone's going to do to you, and yet like I have like full faith that the person I'm working with is the person that, you know, they're saying they are. Not just because I can see them, but just because like we've spent so much time working on this stuff together that like, you know, you can really just feel a person out after a little bit, and, you know, nothing seems fake. It doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem false. It all seems authentic and genuine. And so when you have that sort of connection with somebody to where, you know, you do lift each other up, you do genuinely care about each other, you keep each other motivated, and you're able to create the sort of stuff that we do, like the chemistry that we have, regardless of whether or not we've met in person. There was no way that either one of us was going to pass it up and just let it go, you know, over something like distance or whatever, when, like I said, in this day and age, like it's so easy to make music together with people who you're not around. Like the digital age is so great.
It is, and I 100% agree with you on that. And I loved that answer. It's so descriptive. This is like the first time I've worked with a TikTok band, so I didn't even know about that part. Something new every day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we love the platform. It's done so much for us, and the beauty about TikTok is like it really levels the playing field for many musicians. Like it gets you in front of people you wouldn't expect to get in front of.
Yeah.
And
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. We there are some things we like that we feel about the platform, but it's helped us more than it has hurt us. So
yeah, for sure. It's given us, you know, like I'm infinitely more grateful than I am disgusted with it a majority of the time. Like there are times where I get very frustrated with it, and I'm irritated because of either an algorithm change or whatever it may be, or like, you know, the current state of the platform. But like it's always been fairly good to us as a whole, even if sometimes like it kind of feels like it's beating down on us.
Yeah. All right. My next question is, what inspired the band name?
Me. Ricky was just kind of like, so Ricky's really good at like sonic art, you know what I mean? Like he can pick up a guitar and just write a song, you know. He just has this ability where like he'll hear something in his head and he can just make it. And I'm good at bouncing, you know, things off of what he creates sonically. Like he'll create something and that'll spark something in me to create. And so like that's our dynamic, you know. But when it comes to like the visual arts, Ricky kind of just lets me handle that. You know, I'm much better at like the visual creative aspects. So when it came to naming the band, it was almost like a no-brainer. Like it didn't take us long at all. We were just kind of like thinking about it, and I don't even remember if I shot him over. I think we shot a couple of ideas over, like, and we were kind of like, yeah, like maybe. And then like the idea just hit me one day.
I don't
was
even
like,
remember what the other names are.
I don't either. I don't.
We'll have to like scroll back or like chat history or something.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a cool thing to tell people, like these were the potential band names. But no, it hit me one day, and like I thought about it and I was like, that sounds really cool. And so I sent it to Ricky and he was down. And the meaning behind it is like full disclosure, I am like an extremely anxious person. Like I have like a really bad anxiety disorder. Like I have agoraphobia. Like I honestly barely ever leave my house. Like I struggle with that really hard. And so I get pretty depressed sometimes because of it. Because when you're just kind of at home all the time, you know, you feel kind of trapped, you know. And I have like kids to take care of and a wife and all this other stuff. So I have all these responsibilities. And then like I have, you know, these disorders that can sometimes like kind of get in the way. I got diagnosed with several other things, but like not to delve too deep into that. It's like I have a lot of stuff that I deal with. So with the anxiety disorder and all that stuff, I always feel a little bit unsafe. Like I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm constantly in like a fight or flight mode and feel kind of threatened. And so there's that uneasiness, and then like mentally, like I don't feel all there. Like I don't feel like I am calm. I don't feel like I'm together. I feel like I'm pretty erratic. So that's the unsound part. So, you know, a lot of our music, with me being the lyricist, is going to deal with these sort of ideas and these sort of struggles. And, you know, I want people to be able to relate to that. I mean, I don't want them to be able to relate to it, because that would be awful, but I want them to have something to relate to if they feel that way. And so, yeah, so we just kind of use that as like the branding, because I feel like it encompasses a lot of what we're going to be kind of talking about, and I don't want to say promoting, but kind of like making material about to try to like help people.
Yeah,
And I
it
think
gives them.
sonically we're there too. Like especially musically, like I think it fits the band name as well.
It
I
does.
think so. I mean, we've got a pretty like sporadic sound. We, you know, it's kind of all over the place, and especially with our originals. You know, there's lots of like panic chords and like, you know, breakdowns, and you know, but then there's also a lot of melodic sections and stuff too. And you know, we're really like proud of, you know, what we're doing and what we've accomplished.
You guys should be. It's really good stuff, and that whole relate to part, it helps people who are suffering find a safe haven in music. That's how it is for me, because realistically, without music, I would be dead. So I
I think a lot of
totally
people
relate to
feel that
that.
way. You know what I mean? And like, I mean,
Yeah,
me personally, I feel like, you know, music helped me get through so many things in my life. And so that was my goal in being in a band, was like, I want to be that person for somebody else. Like, even if it's just one person, or it's just one song or one lyric or whatever, if I can make any sort of a difference, like that's the goal.
that warms my heart, dude, on so many levels.
I appreciate it, man. You know, like it was never about like, for me personally, it was never about like getting famous and getting rich and getting huge and, you know, playing these big festivals and stuff. Like those to me are like privileges, you know, like they're honors, and that's great. And, you know, they help you grow as you know, in your career, and reach more people. And that's awesome. But to me, that's all it is like another avenue to reach more people.
Mhm.
And not for fame, but really so that way I can potentially get the message out there. So
Yeah,
it's more about like the art and like I don't want to use the term salvation, because that seems like so like, like I don't want to sound pretentious, but it's about like giving that comfort to people.
yeah, and that's great. That's why I love like the metal genre more than anything else, because that's how a lot of bands are with that genre. They're just
Yeah,
they want people to feel safe and relate and be able to get shit out of their system.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of us know we're not, you know, gonna be rich and famous, so
Yeah. My next question is, what is your music writing process like?
Ricky, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So it usually starts with a riff idea. So I'm usually just like messing around on the guitar, and I'm usually just sitting in the studio, and or even in the shower. Actually, it's funny because sometimes I have like a riff
Yup.
idea and I didn't even play the riff yet. And it's funny because like a lot of our demo titles are based on like things that I just see in front of my face. So like our next song is called, well, it's titled Redeemer, but the demo title is Head and Shoulders, like because I was taking a shower and that's my shampoo. And I just like knocked out this riff, and it was like pretty aggressive and heavy. And what we do is like I don't write a full instrumental, so I only write like a snippet. So maybe like a verse or two, maybe like a catchy like chorus type uh section, and then I'll just run it by Tyler. I'm like, hey, I'm sending this to you. Let me know what you think. And we just literally upload our stuff to Google Drive. I just send him the link on Facebook Messenger. He bounces back with lyrics and melodies, sometimes synth as well. And yeah, we just go back and forth and until like we're like, okay, I think we have a song. And you know, sometimes we have like quick phone calls to kind of talk about, okay, maybe you want to switch up the structure a little bit, or maybe we want to extend this section a little more. But yeah, our process is just sending files and just reacting to it. And so lately we've been like super receptive to each other's ideas, and honestly we haven't we haven't been questioned anything. And we're like, all right, yeah, this sounds sick. Let's keep moving with it.
it's crazy because he says like lately we've been super receptive to each other's ideas, but I don't think like we've ever not been. I think it's always just been like, hey, I have an idea, and it's just like, all right, go for it. And then like we've never really like shot each other's ideas down or anything. It's always just been this like fluid sort of thing where it's like, all right, you have an idea, let's make it work. Never, all right, I'm not really on board with that idea, so maybe something different. It's always just let's make these ideas work. And it's never a struggle to make them work either. It just happens. And so it's great, man. There was like, it's funny because Ricky said like he sends me something and then like I respond, but there are times where he'll send me something and I'll forget to respond because I get like so excited about it. I'm like, oh, I have an idea, I got to do it right now. And then he'll get worried and be like, damn, did I send him something like shitty? Like,
That's
does
when
he
my
hate it?
anxiety spikes up. I'm like, oh man, Tyler hates it.
No, and I'm like, I'm already working on it and I'm already like feverishly trying to figure it out. So, you know, it happens sometimes. And I mean, there are also times where Ricky will have an idea, but he'll wait, you know, and be like, well, I'm gonna hold on to my idea so I don't influence him. And then I'll send him something back and be like, hey, this is my idea. And he'll be like, all right, that was pretty much like 80% of the idea that I already had. So we'll just keep it moving. So we're on some like weird wavelength thing. Like we're always in sync. The other day we shot a video. We hadn't even like really talked that day. And we shot a video, hadn't seen each other at all. And somehow we're wearing like the exact same outfit. Like
The aesthetic
it,
was just like on
yeah,
point, down to
it
like
was
the
like
color and the accents. And we're like, what just happened here?
yeah, we're both wearing like black beanies and like black like shirts or hoodies and both had our nails painted and you know like just the whole aesthetic was like the exact
It was
same.
the red accent for me that did it. I was like,
Mhm.
that was too bizarre.
It was funny.
You guys got
So
that
yeah,
wavelength, man.
it's weird, man. I've never been like on this wavelength with like anybody else, so it's really cool to like have that, you know, creatively and you know just as a business partner and even just as like a friend. Like it's honestly like awesome.
You guys got that good energy, man. Keep it up. Keep it up.
We're trying.
Yeah.
But speaking of songs, what was the lyrical process behind What Hurts the Most?
I basically like was talking to Ricky and I was like, hey, we have been sitting on a single that we released for far too long. We need to, you know, like get back into it and write something else. And he was like, yeah, you're right. He was like, I've been thinking the same thing. And I was like, cool. You know, I've been seeing people kick around this whole idea on TikTok that What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts is actually an emo song. And he was like, yeah, I've seen that too. And I was like, why don't we make it an emo song? And he was like, all right. And then we did it. And so it was just kind of on a whim. I mean, we both loved the song and we both agreed that it, you know, it would be cool. So we kind of just was like, hey, you know, this could be fun. And then it just blew the fuck up.
Overnight, because it's funny because the night that we posted it, because it was late, it was like 9:30 to 10 p.m.
Yep.
And you know, if you know anything about the algorithm, it's like that's kind of like close to the dead hours, and no one's really like paying attention on TikTok because people are going to bed. So we're like, oh man, it didn't perform as well as we
Dog, we thought it flopped. It got like 80
yeah.
views in
We got
like
80
2
views.
hours.
Yeah, and we're like, oh man, it's a dud. And we went to bed, woke up with like 10K views, and then it just like shot up from there. And then next thing you know, we had 1 million. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, I think Ricky messaged me in the morning and he was like, dude, it took off overnight. And I checked and it was at like 3,000. And I was like, oh man. And like I fell back asleep and then I woke up and I was like, all right, it's at like 5,000 now. And then like it was at like 7,000 when I checked a little while later. And then it just kept going. And I was like, oh man.
Dude, that is insane. So
Yeah.
is that why there's the like the country music kind of artwork on it? Because I just remembered who
Yeah.
the Rascal Flats was. I
Yeah,
just
so-
remembered.
So it's a cover song. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
apparently-
realize that. I just remembered who he was.
So apparently the song was actually written by a dude named Jeffrey Steele, which we didn't know until we did it. And then like we got bombarded with like comments of these elitist people like, oh, you son of a bitches. Like, and we were like, dude, we just didn't know. Like, we're sorry, you know?
Rascal Flatts made it popular. Like
yeah, Rascal
they
Flatts. And
covered
so
it. But yeah.
we modeled our cover after the Rascal Flatts version because we just didn't know. And like everybody was talking about the Rascal Flatts version. So yeah, so we kind of did it because of that. But yeah, my wife made the artwork. She came up with the idea and we were like, yeah, like go for it. And yeah, so then we were just kind of like putting the alternative like term on it, which you know, was coined by Secret Tree Fort. So shout out to him. And he was super cool about it and was like, you know, hey, you know, you guys can totally take it and run with it. And so yeah, like shout out to him. He's super cool, makes great stuff. And you know, it was super cool to get his blessings. You know, we got the blessings from the bassist of Rascal Flatts. He ended up seeing it. Like it just kind of went crazy and got into like the hands of all these people, and we're just super grateful it did as well as it did.
Dude, that's amazing. Congratulations on that. That is one hell of an achievement.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's been pretty wild.
My next question is, who would you love to collaborate with the most, whether it be in a studio or playing with at a concert?
Oof. In a studio setting, I would love to work with Matt Goldman or Will Putney. I think they're both really great producers who have made some of my favorite records, and I think are just great at what they do. And playing live, my favorite band is Under Oath, so I would have to say them. Yeah, definitely.
For me, it would be Nolly Getgood in the studio. So he is the engineer for Periphery, and he played bass for a long time for that band. Most of my guitar tones are inspired by him. Like I basically use his archetype through Neuro DSP, and then I just make a couple tweaks from there. But let's see, live. I mean, my all-time favorite band is Thrice. So I mean, I was inspired by their guitarist Tepe Teranishi. So it'd be really sick to just play a song with them.
Dude, hey, who knows? Dreams can become reality, especially with you guys.
Yeah,
You guys have been blown up like hell. It might happen.
Hey, who knows, man?
Yeah, we'll see.
And if it does, I am buying a ticket to that show.
We appreciate it, man. Yeah, we've had a lot of people asking us, like, when are you gonna tour? When are you gonna do this? And we're like, yo, you guys realize, like, we're independent artists. Like, we're broke as hell. We're just two dudes who make music on TikTok. Like, and a tour with
songs too.
a tour with like, yeah, like we would have like 2-3 songs to play, you know, and a tour would constitute us like planning it and getting booked places and having a vehicle like to travel and carry our gear, and you know, like probably hiring like a full band, and you know, like that, all that costs so much money and so much time and planning, and you know, so we appreciate the enthusiasm, but like we're definitely not ready yet.
It takes time.
Yeah, for sure. I know we're stoked though that, you know, people want to see us.
Yeah, it's basically skyrocketed for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. My next question is, what advice do you have for your listeners and fellow musicians?
I say, I can say that. I would say, like, especially for musicians in this day and age, like, you know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And definitely don't don't shoot down like the like things that are trending. I mean, I've seen so many bands and artists like poo-poo the idea of TikTok because they're like, oh, that's just a dancing app, or that's just for Gen Z. And I'm like, no, like you're missing out on a huge you know, a huge opportunity to reach like thousands of people. And then there are people who have tried TikTok and they've shut it down immediately. They're like, well, I didn't blow up like after like you know, showing my original. I was like, well, you have to like, you have to keep grinding. It's like it's you can't just like, you can't expect.
Yeah, don't blame it on TikTok because your music sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta be consistent.
Yeah, it is. Consistency is definitely key. Patience, and you know, also you also have to you know, model after other creators too. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's times where I've totally like seen Ricky do something and been like, damn, like that was a good idea. I should do something similar.
Yeah, I would say just like, you know, do a bit of homework and know, like, understand what works and like how and really try to figure out how you as an artist can benefit from a specific idea. Like, you know, I think, you know, there's no bad idea really. It's like you just have to put it out there, and then, you know, if one of these days, like,
I mean, the only bad idea is like being like racist or something. You know, like
yeah.
Like just be smart, you know, like see what other people are doing. Like Ricky said, like do your homework, put in the actual effort. Don't expect to blow up after one video. If that happens, great, but like it's a few and far between sort of thing, you know. And like just don't shoot down the platform just because you don't understand how to use it. Or like Ricky said, like if you have this preconceived notion about it and you haven't even given it a shot, like that's just straight up ignorance, like honestly, to like basically legitimately ignore the platform and not use it just because you're like, no, it's a dancing app, without ever giving it a shot, and then seeing how many other people are thriving because of it. Like, it's free to use. Like, you're literally given a free tool, which honestly is very important in being a musician, because we're all broke as hell. And like, we need, and everything costs money, to be a musician, like album art and promotion and mixing and everything, merch designs. So any free tool that you can get to help you succeed is awesome. So TikTok being there for us has been great, because like it's just one less thing we have to spend money on, and it's also been the most successful thing for us.
Also,
So
do not pay for TikTok.
don't pay for
Do
promotion.
not pay. So like TikTok recently put out this feature where you can pay for views. Do not do it, because you're gonna get inauthentic views. You're gonna it's just gonna screw up your traction.
To be real, like I mean, like sorry TikTok, but it's shit. It's shit. It's not good.
Terrible idea.
I've been debating on using TikTok or not, because I want to really expand my audience, because my goal is to at least get bands that one new listener. That's like a huge goal. Yeah.
You totally can. Take your platform, because you can live stream once you get 1,000 followers on TikTok. So you can live stream your interviews. Your best places right now, dude, really are gonna be Twitch and TikTok. Honestly, they're gonna be your best places for your interviews and stuff. And then, like, of course, posting clips later on to like Instagram or maybe YouTube. You could even possibly do YouTube Live or Facebook or whatever. Like, use all the big social media platforms, but like TikTok and Twitch for something like what you're doing is probably going to be your best bet, because you can tell people like ahead of time, like, hey, I'm having this guest on, come check us out, it'll be at this time, everyone can fall in, and watch it live. And people like shit like that because it's unedited, it's raw, it's real. You didn't have the time to cut things out, so people like shit like that.
Honestly, I barely cut anything out unless there's like a camera freeze. That's the only time I ever cut shit out. That's it. For sure. I like keeping everything else in there. That's just my thing.
Yeah, and with TikTok, all you need to do is like find like 15 to 30 seconds of a clip that from like any interview, and then like any part that you think is juicy or hilarious, post it, and people will react to it.
Yeah.
Like, beauty about the algorithm is it pushes your content in front of strangers, not just your followers, because like it was to help you gain new followers.
Yeah, and like honestly, it pushes it in front of strangers, but it pushes it in front of these strangers that are part of like your demographic. So like, anybody who likes the sort of material that you're putting out, whether it be like podcasts or interviews or whatever it may be, it'll put it in front of those people. And so you have a higher chance of getting those new followers. And I think that's what's so great about it.
I'll definitely have to look into making a TikTok then. I'll probably do that. I'll probably do that soon.
Yeah, we're definitely advocates of it for sure. From especially with how it's done for us.
My next question is, what is next for you guys, the band?
New music.
Yes, new original music.
Yes.
Let's be very clear about that. So because of the What Hurts the Most cover taking off, people have been asking us, hey, what's the next country cover? Like, people are like really excited about the idea of us being like the alternative band. And we hate to burst like anyone's bubble, but that's not who we are. Like, that's not what we intended to be. We've always been an original band, and that was just like a one-off cover that we did on a whim. And we're grateful that it blew up, and it put us in front of a lot of like alternative listeners. But our huge focus is just original music. So Tyler, you want to tell them about the next song that comes out?
Yeah, so we were talking about it earlier. Ricky told you, it was demo titled Head and Shoulders, but the actual title is going to be Redeemer. It's it's kind of a crazy track. Like, it starts off like with like heavy stuff, and then it gets in almost like these like pop punk or hardcore sort of rhythms, and it's got catchy melodies and like heavy screams, and then it's got like these like electronic, like almost like throwback, like crabcore style sections, with like all the synth and auto-tuned vocals, and just a very triumphant sort of ending, like that really like pushes like like my vocal range and stuff. Like, it's insane, man. Like, that we did everything we could think of. We were like, all right, what are all the things that influence us, and just kind of like shoved it all into one song.
It's a roller coaster, but a fun one.
Yeah, the song is really just about like for me personally, I wrote it about a time in my life where I knew something was wrong. You know, like I was like, damn, like I've been making a lot of mistakes. I have been living like a terrible life. I have been doing like all of these terrible things, you know, and like I've been hurting people, you know, I've been like stealing things, I've been, you know, lying, like I was a piece of shit, you know what I mean? Like I was young, I was dumb, you know, I lacked guidance and you know, my negative behaviors were encouraged and you know I was never really given credit for my positive behaviors, and which I mean like obviously like don't be rewarded for just doing the right thing, but like it definitely kind of messes with you, you know. And I ended up getting to this place in my life where like finally somebody, all credit to my wife here, so basically sat me aside and was just like, you know, this is when we first met, you know, she was like, yo, like, you're kind of fucking up. Like, honestly. And it came from like a place of like unconditional love. Like, it wasn't like criticism. It was like, I know you're better than this. And it was the first time in my life where like I actually took that seriously and didn't get like offended because I used to be so standoffish, you know? Like I don't really believe in astrology, but I'm dead ass or I was at least like the epitome of what an Aries is supposed to be. And so I was like, man, like, you know, this person actually cares about me and wants to see me do better. And, you know, like they deserve the best of me and I deserve, you know, to do better for myself and for, you know, my kids and, you know, all this other stuff. At the time, I'd only had one kid, but it was just like, I didn't need to be that person, man. And I didn't want to lose, a future with, you know, this person who gave a shit about me. So, you know, being with her and around her family and seeing how closely knit they were and, you know, their moral compasses were just so like solid. And it really helped me to kind of reform and become a better person. And all I wanted at that point was just kind of like forgiveness and the ability to kind of start over and be seen as, a decent person despite like all the things I had done wrong, you know. Like I didn't really believe in, I don't want to say that because it sounds kind of fucked up, but like I was questioning my faith, and I still do at times. And even though I was questioning my faith, I wanted like people to pray for me. Like I wanted that, you know, positive energy. I wanted to be in people's thoughts and not in a negative way. And so really that's what the song is about, is just like me reforming and understanding that it was time for a change and just like not wanting to be a villain and wanting to be able to salvage myself and become somebody better that people could respect and look up to and stuff like that. And I think I've been fairly successful in that. And I hope that this song can help other people who have felt misguided, but like want to do the right thing, you know, like they don't want to be bad people. You know, a lot of people, like, I guess, kind of always feel like they're doing the wrong thing and making the wrong decisions. And yeah, man, I really hope that this like comes across that way and helps those people kind of feel like they can identify with it and feel a little bit more confident in themselves.
That's beautiful. I love that. I cannot wait to hear that song too. I am
Thanks,
super
man.
stoked about that.
Yeah, we're super stoked. Like honestly,
Yeah, we don't.
I
We
can
haven't
say
released it yet, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, yeah. Hold on one sec, guys. What? You have to ask mommy,
Aw.
okay? All right. Ask mommy. I'm a little busy right now, okay? Love you. All right. Sorry.
It's fine.
What was I saying? Fuck. I'm so sorry.
I was saying like, we don't know when it's gonna be released yet. Like it's currently being
yeah.
mastered, but you know we would like to get it out like pretty damn.
Yeah,
soon.
we're definitely stoked on it, man.
Eager.
It's definitely one of my favorite things we've ever done.
I look forward to it and I can't wait. My
Thanks,
final question of the evening and my personal favorite. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, man. What made you want to do this?
Music got me out of killing myself and I wanted to get back.
All right.
So
Hell yeah, we're starting off fucking strong.
I know. And I wanted to start giving back to bands, help them get new listeners, helping them spread their music. So I started this. It's actually as of January 19th of this year marked my first whole year of doing this.
Congrats.
And I even do radio broadcasts with a friend of mine who also interviews, and we basically play music from artists we featured and we put them into a lovely little broadcast of each month. We just started that
Thanks,
up.
dude.
We started that up on Halloween. But yeah, honestly, music got me out of hell, and I just wanted to give back as much as I could. Basically, a project out of love.
I respect that, man. That's pretty sick.
Thank you. It's something I will continue with until I'm dead.
Please do, man. I mean, don't be like up in like hospice and shit like that. You know, I mean, like I think at that point you've helped enough. But
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, it's a really noble thing. I think it's really respectable, and you know, even if it takes a while to take off, like me and Ricky said, like persevere, keep that shit up. Try as many avenues as you can to get out there, because like you owe it to these artists and to yourself if this
Yeah.
is something that you're going to be doing and taking seriously. And yeah, man, I mean, definitely all the you know, the luck to you and everything, and we hope to see you you know, interviewing some bigger bands than just, you know, the guys from fucking TikTok.
I've actually done quite a few bands I've been huge fans of, so
Sick,
that
man.
is a thing.
Yeah.
And now
Awesome.
I work with labels like indie labels too, who I help get bands signed on to.
Nice.
I help them out. I work with some of their bands, etc. It's just been an overall blast.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
We're
And
about
it's,
to get kicked out. So
yeah, I know. I'm gonna wrap things up.
Oh, do you want to start a new link? Because I had a question for you too.
Yeah, I'll start a new one up. We will be right back,
Oh.
everybody.
All right.
You guys are good. Honestly, Ricky, you're gonna have to take that. I actually have to help my wife with my daughter real quick. So it was awesome meeting you, man. And thank you for having us on.
Dude, no problem. I'll send a new link to Ricky.
All
I
right.
appreciate you, man.
All right. Are we back?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
What was your question for me?
Yeah. I mean, I like to get to know like the interviewer as well. So like, what are some of your hobbies?
Well, behind me, as you can see, I'm a little bit of an anime nerd and arcade. Got a big record shelf behind me, so I love vinyls, music. I'm a manga reader.
Oh man, if Tyler was here, he would have like freaked out about the vinyls because he collects a bunch of them.
So I get some from bands I work with too. It's so much fun. I get some signed ones from like Edge of Paradise. Got to work with them a while back.
Mhm.
My first band I ever worked with was Arrival of Autumn, which is a Canadian metal band, which I've been a fan of since like my early days of college. So
Nice.
working with them, I'm almost like,
That's awesome.
I worked
Yeah.
with bands I've been fans of since I was a kid too. Like back in middle school, there's one group I loved. They're like my episode 7 band back
Mhm.
when I was using my old name. So yeah,
Dude, that's badass. Yeah.
it was. And honestly, old name or not, I still love working with them, and I love what I do now. So it's just a continuous like good vibe for me.
Hell yeah, super stoked for you. I mean, if you when you get on TikTok, just let us know. Like we'd be happy to support you.
Thank you. I'll have to go through all my videos and get clips and just use them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and don't feel like you need to like churn it out like so quickly. Just like once.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like maybe one a week or so because I am starting a new job soon too. I have to prepare for.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I mean, if you have any questions about the platform, we're happy to answer too.
Dude, I'll gladly be in touch on that because God knows I need it. I'm not familiar with TikTok. I watch stuff on it, but I've never actually thought of posting myself because, well, just because I never thought it'd work out. But I probably should give it at least a try.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think people love seeing like band interviews. I mean, I did too. Like, especially like when I'm inspired by someone that that if there's anyone I look up to, I always want to get to know what they're thinking. Like, what are their personalities like, beyond what we hear in the studio. So, yeah, I think a TikTok is a great way to kind of like put out that sort of content. And it's like a short form of YouTube. So
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
don't have to do that because I have some funny ass moments. There was one time, I had to do it upstairs in my room because we are having work done down here. Both my cats decided to just like hop in and say hello.
love
And
that.
one time, another dude's cat hopped in ours. It was hysterical.
Hey, cats, they just want attention.
They do.
Yeah.
I almost had to cradle one of them during an interview, and I'm like, I love you, but this is not the time.
That's great. I wish I had pets. I'm actually like living with my mom right now, and she's like anti-pets. So hopefully, like when I move out, I might have like a studio cat or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, the interview, just a cat comes in, studio cat cameo.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely feel the part about like getting to know who you're working with. I get that entirely because that's how I am. Plus, I like to make these fun. I am not a professional by any means. Hell, I just jumped into this blind because I just wanted to give back so badly. I failed public speaking in college. I failed that, and here I am.
Hey, I mean, for some reason, like there's more comfort in like speaking in your room behind a computer screen on a microphone. Like there's for some reason that's way easier than speaking in front of like hundreds of live people live. This it's I think
way too true.
Yeah, like this computer screen right here is our security blanket. So I totally get that.
You're right entirely. Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, but you're killing it. Honestly, we had a lot of fun.
Thank you. That's my goal. I like to make these fun for everyone. That's why I throw that little question in at the end, because like they don't expect it. They go, "Wait, what? We're asking you questions now?" I love it. It's just it's fun.
Hell yeah! No, yeah, it was awesome. Hope we get to chat with you again.
Of course. What I do is like I do album interviews as well. Say an artist releases a new album, they want to come back on the show, I do that. They release some singles, they want to come back, I do that. Like I always love having people back on here. And I also want to start doing more podcasts with bands, just like introducing bands to each other, messing around, having fun, talking about other stuff besides just music. Like I'm trying to set up an anime podcast with some bands who are like total nerds for it, like myself. And it'll be like just a fun conversation of anime that can last like 2 hours.
Actually, like right after this, I'm about to pop on get some popcorn and watch the new episode of Attack on Titan because I'm like,
ooh, nice
for that.
I can't wait for the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. I already got my tickets for that.
Dude, I gotta start Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, yeah, I'm so behind on that. I know. Everyone keeps talking about it.
Demon Slayer's good too.
I'm caught up with Demon Slayer. I also want to start Golden Kamuy. Or I don't know how to pronounce that one, but yeah, I heard that one's really good too.
Yeah. The good thing about me is like I love anime, but I also love those old ones that were super under the radar that didn't get like barely any attention. I watch a lot of those too, like stuff from 2005, 2004, 2006. Like I love watching the old stuff that not many people know about. Nice. And you find some good hidden gems.
Dude, you should make a TikTok with like your reviews of like,
I'm planning on actually doing a whole thing about that. I might actually I had a project before this kind of where we did anime. We had one page for anime, one page for music, one for comics, one for TV. Because I used to do this with 2 other people, like some friends of mine, and they stopped doing the work. So I just took the music page and did my own thing with it, renamed it, rebranded it, which is now why I'm called First Listen Media instead of what my last name was. We went by Nerds Order as a group. So it was Nerds Order anime, music, TV, comics, etc. But since they stopped putting the work in, I just took my page and rebranded it. Because the music thing was my idea from the start. The anime page, I'm probably going to also rebrand and redo because I miss it. Because honestly, it was so much fun. And I think I should have to get a graphic designer to make a new logo. And I might call it Hidden Gems Anime. Because a lot of the stuff I review is really old school, under the radar stuff that most people don't even know exist. Most of it you can't even find on like legitimate streaming platforms anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like some of it you have to go through eBay to get the discs for, or go on like Kiss Anime or something. That is how like unknown these titles are.
Jeez. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be curious to see like, what's out there, like what is something that they might want to search for. So,
and people forget some of the like earlier 2000s and late 90s animations were beautiful. Like the style was just so good. And I watch a lot of those. So, I watch both old and new. And honestly, half the books I have there behind me are like, I think the newest I have was 2007. I have to go check. But yeah, no, literally, like I get old stuff because it's so good.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna probably start that up.
Hell yeah. Shit, dude.
This has been so much fun, and I love working with you guys because this was a blast for me.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun too, and seriously, we appreciate you reaching out. Yeah, and we'll see where this goes for us too, because like we're pretty fresh as a band, and yeah, maybe check in with us later. And see,
is this your first interview? Like this is the first interview you guys have had?
it's funny. The first interview, and it's with First Listen Media. So yeah, you guys
I
are
feel so privileged. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that because for a lot of bands, I am the first because some of them are just starting out. A lot of them are underground, and the underground community is so welcoming and beautiful in a way that I couldn't see myself working anywhere else with music,
Mhm.
and I just want to keep that going. If I work with a big band, hooray, let's go. If I work with some of my idols, let's go. But honestly, I want to stay in the underground because there are so many bands who like need this kind of help, and I just want to give it to them.
Yeah, mad respect, dude. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you guys, because this has been so much fun.
Awesome. I'm glad.
I'll probably let you go now because I can go on a rant on anime for like hours.
Oh yeah. I guess this is an anime podcast. Maybe invite me when we have that kind of.
Dude, when I get that whole thing set up, I will definitely let you know.
Good
All right,
deal.
take care, man.
All right. Yep.